So we're getting into the first roll of the day, and I need to warm up a little bit, and so does he. We both had back injuries in the past, and other injuries to boot, so gotta take things a little slow when we first start. Gotta warm up, and just hopping right into it, I have a question for him when we start rolling about like why he gives up the basically the hip staple. He allows me to basically staple his leg down with my shin, like with no resistance. And I was just curious why. And there's like, obviously we're just flowing. So here he uses that other leg to escape. I end up in a back control from almost like a turtle position. He does a really good job of turning his hips in. We're not trying to, again, put submissions on or anything. We're just kind of like a catch and release. And right here, I attach myself to the head so I can step over. I step over too far, and he does a good job of dominating the top position. But unfortunately, I start cutting an angle. And when I cut that angle, it allows me to basically get my hips higher and then take his back. When I take his back, he's going to do a good job of basically getting his shoulders to the mat. And once his shoulders are to the mat, I have to either come up or stay on the side and lose the position. So I come up, and here I believe he's going to do a basic knee push, but I'm going to slide my leg out of, instead of getting a quarter guard or half guard, and slide back into a knee on belly. And I lose that mount position, so I, again, go circular rotation, attach myself to the head, and go to the other side. And here he's going to get a frame in, a knee shield. That knee shield's going to stop me from basically doing a whole lot of motion. And you see that we are now just like at a decent distance that if he wanted to like stand up or anything of that nature, he could. So we start to re-engage basically again. And I just do a knee staple again, or shin pass, whatever you want to call it. But we have no meaningful connection there. So again, like, we are too far from each other for us to attack each other or any of that. So we kind of basically reset. And from here, I'm going to basically try to sit over into mount, but he's going to pull me into guard. Super easy. And then he's going to throw a triangle position here. You can see how this triangle, he's not trying to choke me. We're just moving around. So here, I end up in the mount position, like reverse mount. And he tries to take my back. Super nice. But I slide down and snag one of the legs that are trying to come over to basically establish hooks and push it all the way over so it clears his hip line, so there's no guard. And again, you'll see a lot of that circular motion when people do not attach themselves, or like when people are playing tighter with their arms in and more defensive, you can get a lot of motion in because there is nothing to stop your limbs from continuing, so they can just keep going. When someone grabs onto a leg or something, that is when you will stop, basically, or an arm or a head. Here I'm explaining that like when people cradle you, they kind of give you positions to basically kick out and sweep people. It doesn't always work, but I will say that cradle is one of those things that is a double-edged sword. You give someone something to sweep you with, basically. Do I use cradles? Absolutely. Here I sneak my hand into his neck because head control is like my number one way of moving around. But here I actually end up coming into that mount position via using the arm instead, and then I start working into that triangle position. And I explained that he needs to make sure he keeps space on his neck because he started to collapse his arm, which leads to an easy choke. He needs to keep space, but I also explained that now that my knee is above his shoulder line, he's going to be able to rotate pretty easy, generating enough motion for him to basically escape. See, he can get his shoulders clear or full rotation under the mat to basically end up on his belly. And that was the end of the rule. So that was that.